Hi folks, I'm David McCord, the game collector and game designer and game maker and game player. And people have asked about that room behind me when I'm doing my YouTube broadcast. And so I figured I'd bring people in the room here just to kind of show around, and you can see my collection and see what I have to talk about. This particular is the first part of the room includes my hobby games. These are the games that are modern games that we play in the local game group every week or so. And on this direction I've got the Star Trek collection. A lot of Star Trek games here. There's a few others scattered around in different categories. Up on the shelf over here is word games. This is kind of the overflow down here. A lot of these games I've bought because I really enjoy the category of the topic. I like economic and what they call engine building games, games that you have to create something in order to win, rather than just hack and slash attack everybody else games. That doesn't interest me too much. These are primarily the kids games. We got the Cat in the Hat games and Rivers, Roads, and Rails games, and Pete the Cat, real popular game. So a lot of kids games. These somehow got on that shelf. Codenames is not a kid game by any means. It's a team party game, clue giving game. This is the party game division. Pretty much the lots of trivia games, lots of how well do you know your partner? Those kind of games where somebody writes down their favorite ice cream and then you try to guess what it was, and then, what do you mean pistachio? You know, those kind of things. Start a lot of fist fights among married couples. A few of these are a little bit more challenging than that, but that's kind of what these things are, trivial sort of games. What else do I have? This is another kids section. A whole lot of things that kind of border on that fine line between being a game and being a toy. And a few collectibles up here on the high shelf where the kids can't get at. This is one of those things that collectors care about, but nobody else really does. This is a classic. Let's go to the races, because it was one of the early VHS tapes that went along with the game. And I found another version of it here, and I said, well, this is odd. It's kind of printed in green ink on the back. What's that mean? Maybe something special about it. Maybe it was a misprint. You know how expensive a postage stamp can get if it's a misprint. So I started looking it up. Turns out this one's VHS. This one's Betamax. So that's pretty rare. That's all by itself. So that was kind of a special find there. I don't know. Some of these are pretty ugly because sometimes when I go in search of a game, I have to find a collector who's already got it, or somebody appreciate it, would offer it for sale. But there's so many times I go to an estate sale, or I go to a yard sale or an auction or whatever, you never know what you're going to find. And I got a call some time ago from a woman that knew who I was and knew I collected games. And she said, hey, I just had a yard sale, got a few old games here left over. Would you like to come over and check it out? I go, sure. So I drove over there, opened the garage door, and went, whoa, no, this ain't worth nothing. Wink, wink. No, she had some beautiful stuff that was in really good shape from the 60s. And you just never know what's behind door number 2, you know, and we'll take a chance. This is kind of like the dice department over here. I've just got all different kinds of dice, and collect all this stuff up. Historical dice. I do workshops and do little lectures, you might call them. Go around to historical societies, talk about history of board games and such. And the workshops and helping kids to think in terms of gamification, I guess is the term. And we just start with blank slate and say, hey, let's create a game. And a lot of kids don't realize, you just create your own game. What the heck? So I bring along a lot of examples to kind of spark their minds a little bit. These games are the 3M Bookshelf series, and a few other publishers got into the Bookshelf series as well. This is not a complete collection, but it's pretty close. Every once in a while I'll find another one that I didn't hear of before, or find a rare one, or upgrade. A lot of these became staples in the game hobby. Acquire was originally one of these. There's some of these that are still referred to. Twix is one of them. But then they also published some classic games as part of the series. Bazaar, Go. What else? Owari, which is a variation on Mancala. They're all part of that series of games. More classics. Let's see, what do I got here? I got 4 different versions of Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different versions of Risk. Clue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different versions of Clue over here. And then the Monopoly department. All right, even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know, a lot of Monopoly. There's Anti-Monopoly. That's first edition version of Anti-Monopoly that they got sued by Parker Brothers and they won. So they're still making Anti-Monopoly, but that's first edition. Trivia games. Tons of trivia games. Oh, let's see. What's this shelf all about? Just more miscellaneous games. Let's see what's back here. Yeah, a couple different versions of Othello. Strato Tactics. I wish I could pull that one out and show you. It's a really neat little game. That's early 70s. My cousin and I used to play this in college. This one, these shelves are 2 tiers deep. There's more behind these because they ran out of room. So yeah, this is the word game department. It all started with Scrabble. Everybody likes Scrabble, and so do I. And so from Scrabble, you come out with a whole bunch of different variations of word games, letter games, bizarre balancing games that are words as well. It's a lot of strange things. This section over here behind me are the oldest games that I own. A lot of stuff you can see here that are 60s and 50s and even older than that. But the very oldest, sorry, back of my head there. This is the oldest game that I have in the collection. And this is a spinner. Oh, crap. Oh, there it is. This is a little spinner with some little coins here, little tokens inside this apple. And it's obviously from a horse race, steeplechase type of a race game, like a little roulette wheel. And the reason that I know it's the oldest one is because inside there, underneath that wheel, there's a patent number. And I looked that up, and it's 1863. So this is 1863, this little apple. But there's boards like this one. Yankee Trader, a game of skill. This is 1941. Which I have the board, but not the pieces. That kind of stuff happens a lot. Somebody somewhere has those pieces. I'll be looking for them. Mahjong. Everybody likes Mahjong. And these are old. This is probably 1930s. I don't know for sure. But it's got the racks here. I got the coins are underneath, but it's kind of a pain to open up. That's just kind of a quick overview of what I've got here in the room, and some little stories behind them. Every one of them's got a story behind it, of course. But if you see something here that you'd like to know more about, by all means, just drop a comment, and we'll see if we can't go into a little more detail about them. If you know something that I don't know, I definitely would like to know it, and tell me something, little stories about how you might have acquired some of these games too. Everybody has an adventure about such things.